The Washington Redskins traveled to New York to face their division rival Giants on Sunday. New York is a 3.5-point favorite on BETDAQ, 45.5 the total in this game. When I first saw this game, I thought, two unreliable teams, but that's not 100% accurate. The Redskins are just a bad team. They can be relied upon. They can be relied upon to lose. They have lost 7 straight games. They now sit at 3-12 on the season. The Giants, on the other hand, are genuinely unreliable. 6-9 on the year. You never know what to expect from this team on a week-to-week basis. They lost their first 6 games this season, and they're actually 6-3 since then. But they had back-to-back ugly losses before pulling out a nice road win in Detroit last week. So never know what we can expect from the Giants. They were able to beat Washington 24-17 back on December 1st. That game was in Washington. That's probably a big reason why the Giants a 3.5-point favorite here. But the Redskins playing a little bit better now that Kirk Cousins is under center. Coming off back-to-back 1-point losses to Atlanta and Dallas, Cousins has played pretty well, thrown for 578 yards and 4 touchdowns in those 2 games. He has turned the ball over a couple of times, but the Giants certainly not great defensively. They're 20th in the NFL in points allowed, and they're much worse than that offensively. This New York offense has not been able to get it going all season. They're 30th in the NFL in total offense, 28th in points scored. Just hard to believe considering Eli Manning has been healthy all year, and his trio of wide receivers, Hakeem Nicks, Ruben Randall, Victor Cruz, they've been mostly healthy all year. Now, I know Cruz has missed a couple of games recently, and Nicks probably hasn't been 100%. He either hasn't been 100% or he's started to decline because he hasn't been as good this season as he was, say, a couple of years ago. But whatever the reason, the New York offense has not been able to get it done this year. Washington's certainly not very good defensively, so they'll have every opportunity in this game, but they're only able to produce 24 points against this Washington defense back on December 1st. And if they only produce that many again here this week, I'm not sure that's going to be good enough because, as we said, the Redskins are playing better offensively with Cousins under center, and they've been able to run the ball well all season. They're 5th in the NFL in rush yards per game, 9th in total offense. So look, I have a Washington lean in this situation, and I don't have a lot of concrete evidence to support my position, and so this is probably not going to be one of my best bets. Tough to trust the Redskins after we've seen them lose 12 out of their 15 games, including 7 straight. But again, the Giants extremely unreliable. Before last week's win in Detroit, they had showed signs of, I think, maybe folding up the tent for the season. I don't know. That was an ugly shutout loss to the Seattle Seahawks at home, their last home game. And then the week before that, they went on the road and were blown out by the San Diego Chargers. So even though they won in Detroit last week, still don't like what we're seeing from the New York Giants over the last month or so. And I have a hunch that the Redskins are either going to win this game or it's going to be very, very close. Think the 3.5 points might come in handy. So I have a Washington lean here. I like Washington plus 3.5. I'd also look at over 45.5.